Hey there and welcome. Have you ever, really thought about what's in the food you eat every single day? I mean, it's way more than just what tastes good, right? Today, we're going to unlock the secrets hidden right there on your plate.
All right, check this out. Looks pretty tasty, doesn't it? A totally normal, delicious meal. You got your chapati, some dal, a little bit of veggies. But here's the thing. What's really important here isn't just that it tastes good, it's the variety.
And that brings us to the big question, right? Why do we need all this different stuff on our plate? I mean, why can't we just eat our absolute favorite food, let's say French fries, for every single meal? Well, there's a really good reason, and we're about to figure it out together.
Okay, time to get serious. Let's put on our detective hats and do a little investigating. We're going to go undercover and uncover the secret ingredients in our food, the stuff our bodies need to do some pretty amazing things.
So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use 3 super simple tests that scientists use all the time to find the main components in our food. We're on the hunt for starch, which is a kind of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. You ready?
First up is the starch test. And believe me, this is so simple. You just take a piece of food, like a raw potato, and add a couple of drops of this stuff called dilute iodine solution. Now, watch this. If there's starch in there, bam! It turns this deep blue-black color. It's like a secret chemical handshake.
All right, next up, how do we track down protein? For this little experiment, we need 2 chemicals, copper sulfate and caustic soda. You mix them into a mashed up bit of food, and if it turns this awesome violet color, you've got protein. Case closed. And this last one. Honestly, it's the easiest one of all. The test for fat. All you need? A piece of paper. Seriously. Just wrap up some food, crush it a bit, and then look at the paper. If you see an oily patch that lets light shine through and doesn't just dry out, well, that's fat.
So now that we know how to find these secret agents in our food, it's time to meet them properly. Let's meet the team. These guys are called nutrients, and trust me, they are the absolute superstars that power our bodies. And what exactly are nutrients? Well, here's the bottom line. They're the parts of food our bodies absolutely cannot live without. They're essential for everything, from running a marathon to literally just breathing.
First up on our nutrient team, let's meet the energy givers. This dynamic duo is made up of carbohydrates and fats. And, you guessed it, their main job is to provide all the fuel your body needs to get through the day.
So you get carbs from stuff like rice, wheat, and potatoes. And you find fats in things like oils, nuts, and butter. Simple enough. But here's a really important difference. While they both give you energy, fats are way more concentrated. They pack a much bigger energy punch than the same amount of carbs. Okay, moving on to the next major player on the team, let's hear it for the bodybuilders, proteins. Seriously, think of these guys as the construction crew that's constantly building and repairing your body. And you absolutely need proteins for growth and to fix up any wear and tear on your body. The cool thing is, you can find them everywhere, in plant-based foods like peas, beans, and dal, and also in animal products like fish, eggs, and paneer.
And to round out our amazing team, we have the protectors. That's vitamins and minerals. These are basically the bodyguards for your body, like your own personal shields and armor, fighting off diseases and keeping everything running smoothly.
Now, what's really wild about vitamins and minerals is that our bodies only need them in super tiny amounts. But don't let that fool you. They are absolutely essential. I mean, think about it. Vitamin A helps keep our skin and eyes healthy. Vitamin C is like a superhero helping our body fight off infections. Vitamin D helps our bones absorb calcium. And then you've got minerals like iron, which is so important for our blood. They're found in a huge range of foods, which brings us right back to why that variety on your plate is a huge deal. Okay, so we've officially met the whole team. The energy givers, the bodybuilders, and the protectors. That's great, but what now? The big question is, how do we make sure we get all of them on our plate every day?
Well, the answer is something called a balanced diet. And this part is so important. It's not just about getting all the nutrients, it's about getting them in the right quantities. That means not too much of one thing, not too little of another. Plus, you need a good amount of roughage and water. And by roughage, we're talking about dietary fiber. You know, the stuff from plants that our body can't really digest but is super important for keeping our digestive system happy.
And you know what's cool? Just look at how traditional meals do this without even thinking about it. A meal from Punjab might have corn roti, rajma, and some greens. Meanwhile, a meal from Andhra Pradesh could have rice, dal, and different veggies. See the pattern? They're both mixing grains, proteins, and vegetables all on one plate. It's a perfectly balanced team effort.
But what happens when that team effort kind of falls apart?
When the balance is off, you can run into some serious problems, whether it's from getting way too much of a nutrient or not nearly enough.
Let me tell you about this guy, Bujo. He figured out something true, that fats give the most energy. And he thought, hey, why don't I just eat fatty foods all the time? You know, stuff like samosas, sweets, fried foods. He thought he'd be an energy machine.
Well, it turns out, Bucho had it all wrong. Yes, we need fat for energy, but loading up on it all the time can be really harmful. It can lead to a condition called obesity. It's a perfect example of how you can have too much of a good thing.
And then you've got the total opposite problem. What if your diet is missing a certain nutrient for a really long time? Well, then your body just can't do its job right, and that leads to something called deficiency diseases. For instance, if you don't get enough vitamin C for a long time, you can get scurvy, which can cause bleeding gums. A lack of vitamin D can lead to rickets, where bones actually become soft and bend. And if you're low on iron, you can get anemia, which just makes you feel weak all the time. It's a pretty powerful reminder that every single nutrient has a specific job, and if one is missing, the whole system feels it.
So, look how far we've come. We started out as food detectives, we met the entire nutrient team, and now we see why getting that balance right is so incredibly important for our health.
The big takeaway here is that every single meal is a chance to put together that winning team on your plate. So next time you sit down to eat, I want you to take a look and ask yourself a simple question. How's the nutrient team on my plate looking today?